Digital Media Team Studio. We'd like to say a big thank you to all our viewers for buying data to stay tuned to this program, and of course for your encouragement, for your comments, even those that use unpleasant and uncouth language. Of course, we are very dynamic. Well, thank you very much. My name is Habiba Oyege Oyarekwa, welcoming you to the program. This morning, we are going to be having Mr. Collins Ihevoria Idiahi. He's currently the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Contributory Pension Scheme and Special Duties in the Edo State Pension Bureau. He hails from Ehanlen Ewu in Esan Central Local Government Area of Edo State. He attended Edokpolo Grammar School and Institute of Continuing Education, Benin City, from 1994 to 2000, and had his SSA in 2000. He then gained admission into the University of Benin, where he studied business administration between 2001 and 2006, and of course obtained B.Sc honors. He took part in the mandatory NYSC, where he served in Tafawa Balewa, Bauchi State, the home of the first Prime Minister of Nigeria in the year 2008. He went further to obtain a postgraduate diploma in business management in 2013, also from the University of Benin. He worked with the Information Communications Technology Agency between 2009 and 2012 as a software personnel with certification as a Microsoft Certified Technology Specialist. In November 2012, he was appointed as the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Economic and Strategic Team, where he was the policy head of the Enablers Clusters. While as SSA and head of the Enablers Clusters, he served in several committees as Secretary of Subcommittee on Contributory Pension Scheme Implementation in Edo State, Secretary, Committee on Need Assessments of School Infrastructure and Personnel, Esan Central Local Government Area of the state, and of course the Project Manager, World Bank Development Policy Operations, Monitoring and Evaluation, and member of the Task Force on Orphanages and Special Duties Office of the First Lady, Edo State. He also served in the Technical Committee for setting up modalities for the implementation of the Contributing Pension Scheme in the local government level in Edo State. He has attended several national conferences on the Contributing Pension Scheme and pension management. He was assigned the task in March of 2017 to head the Edo Jobs Initiative data gathering of eligible unemployed individuals for Edo Central Senatorial District, from where he hails anyway. In June 2017, he was appointed the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on the Contributing Pension Scheme, and it is on that he's coming to speak to us today on Obaseki's audacious pensions reforms. So, do I call you Collins?
Yes, please.
Thank you very much. You are welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Now, tell us about your relationship with the governor before he became governor of Edo State, because we are aware that you served in his committee at that time.
Yes, I was in office when he was chairman, economic and strategy team of the economic team in Government House. I was there as an appointee. I came in actually as an SSA to the governor on special duties. I met him because I needed where I could...
Which means you were SSA to comrade governor?
Yes, I am to show.
Thank you.
I was sent to his office.
Yes.
But initially I wasn't sent to his office. I needed a place to, I'm a graduate of business and I needed a place where I use and get to actually use what I read to work.
Yes.
So I approached him and he told me, okay, there's a vacancy, you can work in the economic team. So I was now redeployed to economic team to work under him. I got there immediately. We had this cluster system then, the way we handle things in the state, or the way we handle the economic team. He handled in such a way that all MDAs in those states were put into clusters. Okay, when you make clusters, for example, I was head of the Enablers cluster. You had ministries like the Ministries of Finance, Ministries of Budget, ICTA, Office of the Head of Service, the Internal Revenue Service. All these various MDs I've just mentioned, they are called enablers. they help you to make your other things work. Now, for example, you need finances to carry out other things, Ministry of Finance. You need a budget before you can carry out any project.
So there must be a synergy.
Thank you. So then, of course, you need technology, ICT. Then you need the people where. That's where the Office of the Head of Service now comes in, because they deploy the public servant to man these various areas. So I was head of the enablers cluster, and the governor who was chairman there ran the place very professionally. You know, it was like when I go to work, you don't know I'm an appointee, you think I'm a bank worker. You know
why?
Yeah, because it's the ambience of the place. When you open the glass door and you go, you think you're in a banking hall. You know, it's very professional. You see people in their offices attending to files that have been minuted to them by the chairman of the economic team, who is the governor now, Mr. Obaseki, and then you're giving time to treat these things. You don't keep any job that comes that has to do with the various ministries is sent to the policy heads of that cluster. And then when anything that concerns, for example, the Office of the Head of Service comes in, it is minuted to me for my input, and then it goes back to the chairman, who perfects it and sends it to the governor for implementation. It was a wonderful system. There was even a time he introduced the no paper policy. Everything was done using technology.
No paper
policy in the office. So what that means is that a job comes in, maybe a letter from the governor's office that needs our attention. It is scanned and sent to the policy head. He goes through it, makes his input, and sends it via email. There was a technology the ICT brought in then, I think a Microsoft project. We send it to the chairman, he looks at it online, works on it, and then before it goes into a file and goes to the governor's office. So it was an experience.
Now he's the governor. How do you want to rate his administration?
Well, I don't, where do I even start from? Because if I now go into the pension administration, where I am now, things have really changed.
We'll go to pension, definitely, but I want you to look at his administration holistically.
Okay, he has done very well in terms of infrastructure. I call him the builder. You know, people have different names for him. I call him the builder. Now, we say sometimes, we say civil servants do not deliver. And he will ask you, when they don't have good offices, buildings, a conducive office to carry out their various assignments, what do you expect from them? So now he came on board and he has made the whole place comfortable for civil servants to work. That's why I call him the builder. Then look at other things he has done, like the gully erosion in my place, reclamation of the gully erosion. Ewu, I'm from Ewu. And then, you know, that place has killed over 10 persons.
Did you say 10?
Over 10 persons.
Okay.
Over 10 persons. Taking houses.
You are just being modest.
Yes. So when he came on board with, in partnership with NewMap, and man, if you go to my place now, well, it's something else. Then talk about the Edo Best that Lagos State is trying to model their educational system after. It's something else. You want to talk about the GIS, the certificate of occupancy that takes 2 weeks now to process, and it's cheaper to do that now, and everything is done online. You can go on and on and on.
Okay. So now, you see, they're not saying that the pensioners are the happiest people in Edo State today. So how was the governor able to resolve what seemed like a hydra-headed problem from the previous administrations? Okay. Because you are a player in that particular sector.
It had to do with careful planning. Now, before you resolve any issue, you need to know what the problem is. That is the way he has always carried out things. You need to know what the problem is before you just not throw things at the problem. You need to understand, okay, why are these people not getting their pension areas? Why are they not getting their monthly pension? Why are they not getting this and that? After the whole study, he had to look at the technology. That's where ICT came in. He had to, you know, put in so much into ICTA to ensure that every information it's captured. First, we need to know how much we owe you before we can pay you. You can't just come and say, I've retired now. They are owing me 2 years arrears. We have to have the data. We need to know the amount. So that's where ICT came in. He had to set up the Edo State Pensions Bureau in 2017. And because there was a law that had to be implemented, the Contributory Pension Scheme law. Okay. Now that was implemented, the Pensions Bureau came in, he had already improved ICTA, and then the synergy between the Pensions Bureau, the Office of the Head of Service, ICTA, there was a plan in place. First, they looked at all the funds that were being owed these pensioners, like pension arrears. They looked at other things like gratuity. What we have the farthest reach, what will they really enjoy? What will make them very happy? So there was a planning, a committee, and then say, let's pay their pension arrears first. That has been on ground since 1996. 1996, it was a huge amount. So they were put into batches. We started with batch 37. As I speak with you, from batches 37 to 65, the governor has cleared all outstanding arrears. All those that made themselves available for screening have been paid their pension arrears. And that was, I think it's to the tune of about 4.3 billion for 3,125 pensioners who were being owed from this period, 1996.
From 1996?
Yes, till date. You know, as I said, it started with planning, recognized the issue, and then we started the implementation. Was
the previous administration not paying pension?
They were paying haphazardly.
How do you mean?
Okay, now there'll be screening, they'll pick, I don't know how they got the people, they'll pay some persons. You know, others that maybe got retired before, some persons would not get. The governor, when he came on board, he didn't like that. He said, patch them the way they retired, pay them. So even when some relatives of the governor write to him to say, you must pay me pension, my pension arrears now, he will write to us, please process. What badge is this person? When he gets to the person's turn, pay. We cleared everything without putting everybody.
It must get to your turn before you are paid.
Yes.
Not that you want to cut corners because maybe it's your brother or your sister that is heading that particular unit.
It was done in batches, the way you retire.
So this is a contributing pension scheme. Yeah. How does it work in Edo State, and what is the estimate of those captured in that particular scheme?
Okay, when we started in 2017, when the Pensions Bureau was established and the scheme kicked off in Edo State, we had 9,803 staff, eligible staff.
9,803.
Yeah. So we started the scheme. We had to do sensitization of the workers. Okay, workers were starting the contributory pension scheme. The way it works, I mean the sensitization now, the way it works is that 8% of your funds will be deducted, your basic rent and transport. The government will add 10% of that same basic rent and transport, making 18%. Okay. It will be paid into your retirement savings account. It's like a bank account that is opened with a pension fund administrator. So as we speak, when we came on board, we registered 15 pension fund administrators that manages the contributory pension scheme of workers. So the way it works, monthly, the government pays its 10%. It's about the second best compliant state. You can get this, you can confirm this is Lagos State because it started way before Edo State. Okay. Good. So Edo has been making this payment consistently. On an average, every month, the government pays about 95 million naira matching contribution to the 8% of. Now we have 10,884 staff in the contributory pension scheme.
From the previous 900?
Yes, because they keep employment.
10,884. Okay.
Now,
Yes, go ahead.
The beauty of the contributory pension scheme is the various the benefits. Apart from you getting your monthly alert, because government has added their 10% to your 8% that has been deducted, there is what we call the group life insurance scheme. That's another benefit. There's what we call actuarial valuation. I will explain these terms if we have time. Good. Now, before in the old scheme, when people pass on in service, you have to now process their files in a defined benefit scheme. Sometimes it takes time to do this, and then, but now it's pretty easy. The government has paid premium. There's what we call premium to an insurance company. Well, yes. The group life insurer we use now is Tangerine Life Insurance. Yeah. So the government pays premium to an insurance company to insure the life of all Edo State workers in the contributory pension scheme. So in the event of death, the worker, the beneficiaries, I mean the dependents,
yes,
dependents of the disease, is not looking for people to help them with money, wearing black, writing letters to government. No. In less than 2 weeks, it gets to our table, it gets to my table, we process, and the person gets 3 times the gross annual salary of the employer, the diseased.
Yes.
Good. So if, for example, a worker earns 1 million naira.
Exactly, I was coming to that.
Good. The beneficiary gets 3 million because of the premium we have paid to the insurance company. I mean, if the worker earns 1 million in a year, that's times 3 million. So now, in 2017, 2018, is
there any clause?
When you make clause, if there's a caveat,
yes,
the debt must be reported to the Edo State Government Pensions Bureau in 6 months. You know, premium is for 1 year.
Yeah.
So in the world over, insurance claim is for 1 year. So you must report the debt within 6 months, so that it can be processed on time. Because if it leaves that year,
status bar or something.
Sorry?
So that it will not enter status bar.
Thank you very much. So the first year, 2017 to 2018, the government paid 80 million naira as group life insurance premium. The other year, 2018 to 2019, they paid 215 million. This year, the government has paid 174 million. As I speak with you, checks have been presented to more than 47 families to the tune of 127 million as benefits. Even last week, checks were presented to 12 families, 42 million naira. So it's fast. The contributory pension scheme, the reason why it is fast and it is working well is because of the commitment of the governor. He wants the scheme to work, because the defined benefit scheme, the old scheme, is fading away. This idea of owing workers, these pension areas, I won't tell you another good thing he has done in that area to ensure we don't accumulate pension areas again. There was a circular that had to come out 12th of July 2018. Workers must process their retirement benefit within 6 months, so they are not being owed arrears. Because we didn't want to keep, these are the planning I'm talking about. It didn't just come and say, let's pay. After we have paid, we started paying, said, no, we don't want this to accumulate again. What do we do to stop it? This circular came on board. Then there was this issue of workers, okay, when one dies in service, the family goes to the probate to go and pay 10% of what the total amount they are expecting. The governor had to issue a decree, executive order. We're not in the military era,
yes.
Sorry about that. The governor had to issue an executive order, number 1, his first executive order, that henceforth, anybody that is processing a death benefit will have to get the money before the 10% is deducted. Not the other way around. No, people sometimes before now we go and borrow money, pay the 10%, they will still not get it. I mean, in previous, I'm sure he had to put a stop to that. So when they process to you, I mean, in the old scheme now,
yes.
So because he's running the old and the new scheme simultaneously very well, there are no issues. Okay. You can't have a perfect system, but it's near perfect, I must tell you. National Pension Commission, the regulators come in every year to do what we call an inspection. Right now, we're on inspection, off-site inspection.
All right. We're chatting with Collins, and of course, we're talking pension matters. When we come back, we are going to be taking a look at gratuities and other entitlements. Stay with us.
I'm using this opportunity to introduce you to a hashtag. It's called #SnapAscend. It is on Facebook, it is on Twitter. Whenever you see any incident starting from today till the day of election, and even during the election, during the collation, any incidents that you think is of interest to the political process, to the electionary process, snap and send. That's the hashtag. Once you have a photograph or a video clip of that incident, use hashtag snap and send. I say hashtag snap and send. Immediately you use that hashtag on it, forget it will go to the right place. Something will be done about it immediately. Hashtag snap and send. It's on Twitter, it's on Facebook. Thank you very much, my people.
Yes, all right, Collins. Could you just give us a breakdown of the amount that was owed as arrears and for how long and how it was cleared? You could give an estimate. You may not have the real figure.
I don't have the real figure.
Yes.
From 96 to 2017,
Yes.
when we cleared the areas. It's, I think, about 18 billion, if I'm not mistaken.
About 18 billion?
Yeah. So when the governor came on board, he looked at it and I was like, wow, because you had both pension arrears and gratuity. So he said, okay, we had more persons being owed pension arrears. So that's why I talked about the rich, people that would really enjoy when these things are being cleared, how many more persons it will get to. Yes. So that's why the government first of all took the payment of pension arrears, which has been cleared. When I say it has been cleared, from 2017 till date, we have been doing screening and verification. We've been calling in batches, 37, 38, we're down to 65. Now, all those that have presented themselves, because when we get to a new batch, if I say in 45, we call for previous batches. If you did not hear before, come. So all those that have presented themselves for screening, from batches 37 to 65 have all been paid. Nobody's been owed.
How do you make up a batch? What makes up a batch?
Okay, it's when you retire. Okay, say you retire in January 2012. Anybody that retires in January 2012, they'll put you in the same batch with the person. February, the way you retire, the batch. So if a batch
Okay. Now, some relatives of deceased persons who are pensioners are still saying that their parents' pension arrears have not been paid. Yes. So, what is going on, and how is the government handling these cases so that they can be sorted?
Okay. It's possible that there are two screens, sort of. They have to go to get a letter of administration from probate to show that you are the administrator to the estate. Once this comes, we'll process it and it is paid. Now, of course, it has not been as fast as the contributory pension scheme. Not for lack of funds, but because of the fact that when you don't present your data on time, it will not be processed. I'm talking about death benefit in the old scheme now. No. If you don't present your data, it will not be paid. As I talk to you now, a total of about 244 million has been paid so far to families of in the old scheme.
Yes. In
the old scheme, because it's the way you process your letter of administration, the death certificate, you bring it there, the Insurance Bureau under this part, it is paid. What? The letter of administration. It's not just given to you when you go there. They do that in a month. In case maybe you have all the data, they will not just give you a letter because you have come with the papers. You could have stolen the papers. So we rarely have cases where 2-3 persons, because they inform all family members. I mean, probate, they do a thorough job. Since I've been in the pensions bureau as an SSA, I've not had issues where after somebody has collected the claims, another person has come to say, I am the rightful claimant or beneficiary. We've not had such cases.
Okay, now, what really is harmonization of pension payment?
Okay, harmonization has to do with the fact that, it's your pension is a function of your salary at the end of the day when you retire. Now, some persons retired in the year 2000. Maybe their take-home pay, their pension is, say, 4,000. I'm giving an example, 4,000 naira. Now, in present-day reality, somebody that is taking home a pension of 4,000 naira if he's just buying pure water, not eating, will be barely able to take care of himself, assuming he does not have children to take care of him. Now, this harmonization that's being pushed for wants to put present-day realities into that money you are getting, so that it can come to, so fully be on the side of the law, so that